guys, I'm bringing you another video here. This one is a lot different than all of my other videos. I haven't had a good tournament session in a while, so I thought I'd do something a little different, and I am playing some Pot Limit 5-card draw. It's a game offered on Lock Poker. Usually there's not a lot of games running. Right now there's one micro stakes game running, and playing it kind of for fun. Maybe to make a little bit of money. I am not an expert in 5-card draw, that's for sure, but I am definitely a winning player lifetime. Back on Hollywood Poker before the UIEGA went up, I built up a decent amount of money with considering how big my bankroll was back then, playing 5-card draw. And recently I've played a little bit on Lock Poker just kind of for the heck of it, and I've made a little bit of money. I definitely don't do it as part of my big time grind to make money. I just do it kind of, if I'm not feeling like putting in a big grind, I might play it for a while, and also for entertainment. I enjoy it a little bit to kind of get myself still playing poker, but away from the grind a little bit, and to get myself better at different games. I like getting good at some of the more niche games. But anyways, I thought I'd play a short little session here and record it for you guys, see if you enjoy it, and talk about it a little bit. And maybe if some of you micro stakes guys out there want to get good at a game and make some money at this, might be an option for you guys. It's definitely some money to be made here. I'm definitely not an expert, so the stuff I say is you gotta take it with a grain of salt, because I am not an expert, but I am a winning player, so maybe you can gain a couple things from what I say. So here I think I was pretty much drawing to almost nothing with this guy drawing 2 cards. Well, maybe not, but I feel like he probably had 3 of a kind, or maybe some kind of weird 2-pair. Maybe not, maybe he had the 3 kind. He's drawn 2 a couple times in weird spots, but I don't know. My strategy in this is definitely not as solid as it is in Texas Hold'em, because I am much more... this is an interesting hand. Pair of tens and a flush draw. Well, against 3 player, let us try to hit the flush. If I was just heads up against him, I'd try to keep the pair of tens and try to win it. But in a 3-way pot, I feel like I have the odds to hit the flush and try to make money that way. But like I was saying, my strategy isn't as refined. I more try to watch other players pretty well and gain a lot of information from what they're doing and try to exploit it and stuff like that. I don't have the math down very well or anything like that. If you did see that guy, well, like I do in my hand right now, I have a joker. So this is 5-card draw with jokers, which a lot of people do not really know how to play. I don't know what the typical rules with jokers are, but I do know on Lock Poker, jokers are interesting because you can't just use them for whatever you want. You can only use them to complete a straight, a flush, or an ace. It can be an ace, it can complete a straight, or it can complete a flush. It can only do those things. I'm just going to get rid of this. With 3 players left behind and a razor from first, I don't think like a pair of queens is all that strong of a hand in 5-card draw. Even if I have the best hand, it's really kind of an iffy spot. And I really like to play a little on the tight side, in the sense of, there's nobody in these games, micro stake, pot limit, 5-card draw games, are going to have great strategy. So, they're going to make lots of mistakes, and if you play a little tighter and just wait for those pretty big hands, they'll make a mistake into you, a little more often than you make a mistake into them, and you can make money that way. Here's another similar situation. I have an ace, which is a blocker. I still think I'm just going to fold, though. I don't know if that's the right play, but I just calling there just doesn't seem like a great play. I mean, he just patted. Usually players will pat when they have like a straight or a flush. They rarely do it to try to bluff. If you see a guy if you see the hand down, make sure you know what that guy had when he patted, because if you can catch him bluffing that way once, then you know that they're capable of doing that. Some players just are never going to pat bluff. It's just how some players play. A lot of small raises getting me out of pots I don't like, but oh well. And then some players, some players only pat when they have it, and a few players will pat bluff, and you can even kind of figure that out by just seeing how often they do it. Players who like to pat and then bluff often do it often do it way too much, and so you can kind of tell that that's what they're doing. Now, calling with a flush draw here is maybe not the right odds to. Oh, jeez. He might have been on a draw too, and that kind of bit makes me think he might have been. And I have an ace. Nope, he had two pair. That's okay. I got to see what he was raising with. Pair nines down to four-handed. I'll be the initial raiser. I like the spot a lot more than calling with the pair of queens. You know, when you're the aggressor, I feel like you have more of an opportunity to play light, just like in Hold'em. You know, I'll raise with queen 10 offsuit from position, but I won't call with it. So it's kind of the same philosophy going here. And again, I'm sure if you're good at 5-card draw, you'll be able to critique my play a lot. I'm definitely no expert. Again, pair of eights. I just don't see the benefits of really moving along. I do have position on them, which I really like. But I'm glad I folded. I'm going to raise because... Okay, let's see how many he draws. I'm going to draw for the king. Hit a pair of tens. Nope. The way this hand's shaping up, I'm going to change what I was going to originally do. I was going to originally draw one and then make a big bet, which I'm glad I didn't, seeing him going. Basically, if he drew 3 and I didn't hit a pair of tens, I was planning on making a pretty big bet, kind of playing it like I had 2 pair. I could have drawn 2. That kind of freaks people out a little bit more. But, and, you know, drawing 1, you can often just have a draw, and people will call you down because of that. But I was figuring he's in the big blind. It's going to be hard for him to really wake up with much. And if he draws 3 and I draw 1, most of the time he's losing to my bet. So it's going to be hard for him to call me down again. So I felt like I had enough fold equity to make a play there. But when he just drew 1, it's a little bit scary. I hit a pair of 10, so I had some showdown value. So I just tried to get to a cheap showdown, which worked for me. And I didn't. He had 2 pairs, so, you know, it worked out really well for me that I didn't fire off a big bluff into him. This hand looks really good, but it's really not. But again, I'm going to do the same basic play. You know, and the other things, I have an inside straight draw with both those hands drawing 1. So, you know, if he has a hand like 2 pair and I hit my king, last hand, not last hand, the first one, then I suddenly have a big hand, and a big hand like 2 pair that he gets is going to pay me off, you know? But another thing to notice that is actually kind of important is on that hand where this guy had 2 pair, and I raised into him pre-flop, and then we both did 1, and I checked it, he checked it back, and so he checked back a fairly strong hand, and that's really good to know. Those are the kind of things you need to pick up to be able to win in this game. Exactly kind of what ranges other players are playing. When he's checking back 2 pair there, I know a bet on the river is either a really strong hand or a total bluff. He's not value betting really light. In fact, I'm gonna write. And whenever I write notes about players on 5-card draw, I specifically mark that it was from 5-card draw because, you know, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see this guy in something else other than 5-card draw. But this isn't my main money maker, so I want to know that that's where I, you know, saw it from, and I don't mix up my Texas Hold'em playing with 5-card draw playing, because this is just such a, the money at risk here is just nothing compared to what I play for in Texas Hold'em tournaments. Deuces, not a very good hand. See here, I got the Joker, so that gives me 4 diamonds. And see this. These are the kind of spots I don't really know what to do because I'm such a, you know, new. I don't know the math of 5-card draw very well. I don't know the specifics of it very well. I don't know the nuts and bolts of it, I guess. I barely even know the strategy. I've kind of tried to pick it up on my own, and I've made money from it, and I don't think that's from good variance. I think the money I've made has been from, you know, outplaying people, because in these weird games you'll find just lots of really bad players, because they're really obscure and people are playing them for fun. They really are. So you find really bad players, and that's one of the reasons these games are profitable to someone like me, who isn't a 5-card draw player, who barely understands the strategy of it, but is a solid poker player and can, you know, understand it. And again, this video is just kind of for fun, and because I didn't have time to make a longer one, and all of my tournament videos have come out really bad. I haven't had a good grind in a long time, so I wanted to get something out there, so I decided to do this. I actually wanted to get a Badugi video out there because a lot of people don't even know the rules to that game, but there isn't a Badugi game running. But at some point I do want to do a Badugi video, so if you're excited about that, you can look forward to it, because eventually I probably will get that up. I don't know when, but at some point. I'll just check this and try to hit a pair of aces or something. Oh, I got free value. And I have total whiff. If he draws 3, there could be an argument for trying to bluff at it. But I'm still not going to, because I don't know how good his pair is, how good or bad his pair is. You know, if he has a pair of 8s or 9s, he's probably going to fold. But he might have just called with a pair of queens, kings, or aces. I don't know what kind of player he is. Or, you know, he could easily hit 2 pair and then, you know, want to bet me out. Or would definitely call or raise me. So, anyways, this is going to be the end of part 1. I'm going to make a part 2, and I'll keep this 5-card draw game going. Okay, I'll see you guys.